My Hebrew brothers and sisters, the 12 tribes of Israel. This is your Moreh, Yeshua ben Uriah Israel. And I just want to say to you, Shabbat Shalom. And I trust you are enjoying your Shabbat. I heard a little bit of uncomfortable news this morning as, you know, my brother in Jacksonville called and just announced to me that his wife, which I refer to as my favorite sister-in-law, passed away suddenly. She was sickly, you know, but he talked to her just about probably 25 minutes before she died, and she didn't show any sign of illness, but apparently she fell in the kitchen area, and you know, when he was outside and came back inside and called and didn't hear her, and he walked around and then she was. So the rescue came and, you know, it seemed like she that passed away there on the way to the hospital. They pronounced her dead at the hospital. She knew Yahuwah, you know, and so it was a blessing for that part of it there. But, you know, no one ever get used to dying, you know, somebody, you know, passing away. We know that her relationship with Yahuwah is secured. We know that, because she testified of that, and she loved Yahuwah. But she was one of my, I would say not one of my, but my favorite sister-in-law, you know. I really love her and her spirit and everything. I know her for probably 40 years. And she and I had never had a fallout. If something happened between she and I, and she kept it to herself and didn't tell me, because we never basically have any fallout. We just love, we love each other. We love, you know, she and my brother don't know. I'm asked to pray for my brother. His name is Neville. And just pray that Yahuwah will continue to keep him. He loves Yahuwah too. So please pray for them. And I'll have to go down to Jacksonville to assist him in homecoming preparation and everything like that. Okay, we want to talk today about, for the Shabbat meditation, partnering with Yahuwah in the struggle of sin. Or partnering with Yahuwah over the struggle. Or, you know, in the struggle over sin. That's what I should say. Partnering with Yahuwah in the struggle over sin. My brothers and my sisters, the same plague that our ancestors experienced, same plague, that caused them to lose out on the blessing that Yahuwah promised to give to them through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are experiencing same struggle. So let me say this: overcoming sin is a partnership with Yahuwah. He's there with us. His favor, and our acceptance and application of that favor that he has given us are equal component in winning the battle. My brothers and my sisters, the devil, Hasatan, he played a great trick on our ancestors, and it worked. And if we don't mind it, the same trick that he played on them, he will play it on us too, if we're not taking care of how we live, of how we walk. My brothers and my sisters, let me say this, that we have a prayer. We have a prayer. If you remember the story, when Sarah and Abraham, as they were promised a son, Isaac, and you remember the handmaid, the Egyptian lady that was with them, that, you know, she and Abraham had a relationship, and she bore a son, Ishmael. Okay, Hagar, right? Was chasing out of the house. And in the back side of the desert, when the heat came and they were going to die, Yahuwah appeared to her. Okay? Yahuwah appeared to her. She prayed, and she made a declaration. She prayed for help, and we can see the declaration of faith, you know, with this lady, as the going get tough. I praise your name, El Rohi. The word El Rohi, the words here in Hebrew is the Elohim, are the God who sees me. And I want you to know that the YAHUAH, the Elohim who sees us, my brothers and my sisters, he knows every struggle. He knows every struggle, every fall. And he understands because he experienced every temptation I face through his son, Yeshua. Okay? He experienced that. My brothers and my sisters, nothing in Romans chapter 8:39 said nothing can separate us from Yahuwah. Nothing. Nothing can separate us from the love of Yahuwah. I want us to notice, my brothers and my sisters, that the devil cannot win. And so, when we are faced with temptation, just remember that being tempted is not sin. Is yielding to the temptation is sin. But remember, when Hasatan comes, we are to choose to flee from the temptation. The enemy is throwing at us right now. He's throwing stuff at us. And so what we have to do, we have to turn and walk away. Turn and walk the other way, my brothers and my sisters. turn and walk the other way. Choose to submit to Yahuwah at a time. And all the time, we are to choose to submit to Yahuwah. And we are to do what he said in his word, to resist the onslaught of the wicked. Resist the onslaught of the evil one, the Satan, Hasatan. He's our enemy. And we have to run. Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 22 and James 4, verse 7 tells us how to do it. Listen what he said. He said, flee from youthful lust. Anything. You see, that's what he does. He brings stuff to us that make it look real nice. I can imagine the scripture talks about, when Hasatan went to Eve and, the fruit, listen what he said, it was beautiful to the eyes. It's what he does. He put stuff before us and make it look real nice. Do you remember the story where YAHSHUAH, when he was out fasting for 40 days and he was hungry, breaking the fast? You remember what Hasatan did? He took him and he showed him all the beauty of the world. He said, all of these I will give you. So the eyes, he brings things to the eyes because you see the visionizing capacity, seeing things, okay? And sometimes you see things that are not there yet. You just imagine how greater it's going to be. But listen what he said here. He said, we must choose, my brothers and my sisters, we must choose. He said, flee. And then in James, he said, we have to resist the devil. Resist the evil one. And when we put up resistance against him, my brothers and my sisters, he will flee from us. He will leave us alone. But many times, my brothers and my sisters, we don't do that. Many times, we enjoy his company. Okay? We are not to show that. Don't give him the right to have dominion over us. The scripture said, we should not allow him, Hasatan, to have dominion over us. Sin shall not have dominion over us. Why? Because we don't belong to the devil. We belong to Yahuwah. We belong to Yahuwah. And YAHSHUAH, his death, burial, and resurrection came back to life, my brothers and my sisters. Give us the power. So when he comes to us, just remind him, Hasatan, remind him that we are highly favored. Yahuwah has made the way for us. So my brothers and my sisters, in partnering with Yahuwah in this struggle over sin, we are at the point where if we do not submit ourselves totally to Yahuwah, then what's going to happen? He set Hasatan. He's going to have dominion over us, and we don't want him to do that. Don't give him the chance to do that. My brothers, my sisters, my time is gone. I want to thank you for your subscriptions, and I ask that you continue to subscribe to this channel. Ask your friends and your loved ones to participate and help us to get to the goal of 1,000 subscriptions so we can go live. Again, this is your Moreh Yeshua Ben Uriah Israel, and we're going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today and walk with the King. Shalom.